Hi, welcome to my video on the surface area of a triangular prism. We discussed the surface area of a rectangular prism, so this is a triangular prism. A triangular prism has a triangle on each end as its base, so it has, let's mark the sides. The triangle has an A, we call that a B, and we call that a C for the length of the sides. Let's do the height of the triangle perpendicular to a base, so we call that the height. This triangle on the end is also the same area as the front triangle, and this is the length of the prism, so that's an L. This side right here is an L, and this top of the, I call it, sometimes I relate the triangular prism to a tent that you go camping with. So that these lengths L, L, and L. These are all belonging to these rectangles. So the base is a triangle. The base is big base is base area, but there are two triangles. So there's half the base times the height. And there's two of them. So let's look at that. And the lateral sides, the lateral area is the area of the sides, and the side of the the triangular prism is three rectangles. So I'm going to call it side 1, side 2, and side 3. So let's call this one right here 1. And let's call, and we got the bottom as 2, and then we got the side over here is 3. So this side is 3, the bottom is 2, and this side is 1. So each one of them is a rectangle, which is length times width, okay, because they're rectangles. But side 1 is actually C times L. So L times C. Side 2 is the bottom, so that's L times B, length times width. And side 3, this one right here, is L times A. And if we do the surface area of the triangular prism, then we have the base area, so we have two triangles, which are the same in area, and we have the lateral area, which is made up of the LC plus the LB plus the LA. And remember, the surface area is made up of the total base area plus the total lateral area. If you put all that together, then that triangular prism, it makes all of this go together. So there's the two triangles put together, because 2 times a half, they cancel out to give you 1. But what most people do in this, they get the area of one triangle and they double it, and they call it the base, total base area. Then they get the area of each of the rectangles. Well, let's work some of these out to see what happens. Find the surface area of each. I got this example here. It says AC and AB are equal in length. So AC is 15 and AB is 15. So that's an isosceles triangle. BC is 24. So the bottom of this is 24 from B to C. Okay. And we got CE. Oh, I forgot to put the E in. So CE is 20. And AH is 9. AH is the height, because the height is drawn from the vertex perpendicular to the base. So that's the height of the triangle. So let's work things out. Let's see what we have. Let's look at the base areas. The base areas are triangles. So the area of one triangle, let's do this, is half the base times the height. So the base of the triangle is 24, and the height of the triangle is 9. So that's a 12 times 9, which is 108. So we have two triangles. So is 2 times the area of one triangle, 2 times 108, so that's 216. Or we could go 108, add on 108. So that's the base area of that's the B for the base areas. So the base area is 216. Now let's get to what we call the lateral areas. The lateral areas are the 3 rectangles. And let's see, let's do this one here. That's the area of one of the sides. I'm going to call it side 1. So if I call that 1, I call the bottom 2, and I call that one 3, as I did above. So number 1 is length times width, so it's 20 times 15, and that gives us 20 times 15 is 300. And we have the area of side 2 is length times width, and that's 24 times 20. 24 times 20. 24 here, 20 here, and that's a rectangle on the bottom. 24 times 20 gives us 480. And number 3 is a 20 by 15, so that's the same as that one. So area 3 is also 300 because we worked out area 1. So the total lateral area is 600 plus 450 because there's 2 of these here. So that's 1,080 for the lateral area. So the surface area is made up of the total base area plus the lateral area. And the total base area is 216. The total lateral area is 1,080. Oops, make that an 8. And we get 1296 when you add it up. And again, we're dealing with the lengths. So this area is, this is meters. So this is area in meters squared. This is area, which is meters squared. That's meters squared. So they're all meters squared in terms of area. And they're all meters squared. So the total area is 1296 meters squared for the area of that triangular prism. Let's continue. Let's find the surface area of another one. But this information is a bit different. It says we have a triangular prism. Notice triangle on each end, equal in area. We have 3 rectangles for its sides. So the triangle PQR is an equilateral with a perimeter of 30. So we have a perimeter. The perimeter of a triangle is 3s if it's equilateral. And the perimeter is 30, so let's put 30 in the place of P. Remember, the perimeter says right here, the perimeter is 30, so P is 30. Perimeter is 30, so P is 30. That means we divide each side by 3, so that means S. 3's cancel out. S is 10, so the side is 10. So that's a 10, a 10, and a 10. Equilateral triangle, all sides the same. It says pH is 8.7, so the height is 8.7. From there to there is perpendicular, so that's the height. So the height is 8.7 feet. So let's get the base, let's get the area of one triangle. So the area, let's do the base area first. So the area of a triangle is a half the base times the height. And that's a half, the base is 10. The height is 8.7. And so when you multiply that, you get 43.5. Actually, half of 10 is 5, and 5 times 8.7 is 43.5. And again, you got area, so you get square feet. Remember, the side is only the length, so it's just feet. S is for side. So that's one triangle, so we got 2 triangles, so the area is 2 times 43.5, which gives us 87 square feet. So the total base area is 87 square feet. Now let's look at the lateral area. So the lateral area we have, that's this side here is 6.5. This side up here is 6.5. This edge that is, and this edge here is 6.5. So they're all 6.5. That means this rectangle, the bottom is 10 by 6.5. This side is 10 by 6.5, and this side here is 10 by 6.5. So all three of these are the same. So one rectangle. So the area of the rectangle is length times width. So it's 10 times 6.5. So that's 65. And there's three of them. So three of those areas of a rectangle, ours for a rectangle, is 3 times 65. And that gives us 195. And again, it's square feet. Units are in feet. So the surface area of this tent is the total base area plus the lateral area. And again, the lateral area is 195. The base area is 87. So 87 plus 195 adds up to 282 square feet. Total surface area of the tent is made up of the base area, which is the 2 triangles, and the 3 rectangles. Because it's an equilateral triangle, all of these sides of the triangular prism are the same. So practice. Practice means, in my videos and workout, practice means pause the video, work out the answer, and play it back to see if you get the answer right. Now we need to find the surface area of this triangular prism. So we can get the area of the triangle. Let's see, if that's a 5 there, then that's a 5. Opposite sides are equal. That's 8, and that's an 8, and the bottom is 8. And the height of the triangle is 3, the base is 4. So we have a 5, we have the 3 sides, length times width, and we have this one as length times width, and we have this one as length times width. So we have all the rectangles dimensions. We have the triangle dimensions, because in a right triangle, when you draw a right triangle and you got perpendicular, you got 2 lines perpendicular. So this is the base and this is the height in a right triangle. We don't, not like this one up right here, where you got to drop an altitude down perpendicular to the base to get the height. The height is built into a right triangle. So the area of a triangle, let's do base area first. B is a half the base times the height. So that's a half times 4 times 3, base and height. That's 2 times 3. So the area of one triangle is 6 and a centimeter, so it's square centimeters. And we have 2 triangles, so we got 2 times 6. So the total base area is 12. So B is 12 square centimeters. Now we can do the lateral area. The lateral area is made up of the rectangles. So the area of let's say rectangle, or it's a rectangle, but we'll call it a 1. So let's do the length times the width is 8 times 5, which is 40 centimeters squared. We're doing this one. Now we're going to do the bottom. So the area of rectangle 2, which is the bottom, is length times width, and the bottom is an 8 by 4. That's 4 over there, and that's an 8 there, so it's a rectangle. So it's an 8 times 4 is 32 centimeters squared. There's a square there. And we have the other rectangle, we'll call it 3, is length times width. Rectangle 3, side 3 is, that's an 8, that's an 8, and that's an 8, that's the height of 3, and that's the height of 3. So therefore that rectangle is an 8 by 3. That gives us 24 centimeters squared. So the total lateral area is a 40 plus 32 plus a 24. 40 plus 32 plus 24 gives us a 96 if you add it up. And so the surface area is made up of base area plus the lateral area. The base area is 12. The lateral area is 96. And when you add that up, you get a 108. And again, area is square. So that's 108 centimeters squared for the surface area of that triangular prism. Let's continue. Oh, we got two more to do. Find the surface area of each. This time we have, it's a triangular prism, so that's 11, and that's 11 from there to there, and that's 11 there. And we have an equilateral triangle, notice 8, 8, 8. And we have the height written in for us, which is 6.9, so it makes it a little bit easier. So let's do the base area. The base area of a triangle, area of one triangle is a half. The base times the height. And the base of the triangle is 8. And the height is 6.9. Half of 8 is 4, so 4 times 6.9 gives us 27.6. If you use the calculator, use your pen. And it's in inches, so it's inches squared in area. And let's do the lateral area. The lateral area is, notice, that's an 8, that's an 8, and that's an 8. So all of this side, right here, and the bottom, which is this rectangle, and this side, they're all the same. So let's do the area of one rectangle, which is length times width, which is 11. Oops, 11. I'm going to put an 8 in there. 11 times, that's 11, times 8. And 11 times 8 is 88. But there's 3 rectangles and they're all the same. So 3 times 88 gives me 264. And that's inches. So that's area, so it's inches squared. That's inches squared. And so we got the total base area, 27.6, the total lateral area. So the surface area of this rectangle, or I say rectangle, triangular prism is base area plus the lateral area. And the base area is 27.6. And the lateral area is 264. And when you add that all up, you get, oh, guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to double the tenth. I forgot to get the area of the tenth. 2 times 27.6. And that gives me 55.2. I did one triangle, but I forgot to do the second one. So that's a 55. My mistake. Sorry about that. 55.2. Add on 264. And that gives us 319.2. And again, the area is in square inches. Square inches. So that's the area of one triangle. We had to double it because the two ends are the same, 52.2. And 264 is the total area of the rectangles. And added up 319.2. And we have another triangular prism. But again, remind you, we got the triangle here, and this triangle is the same area. And if this is 50, then this segment right here is 50, and this segment length right here is 50. So that's the length of the tenth. But we do it in terms of a rectangle. Now, we need a triangle. We need the area. But to get the area of the triangle, let's look at this, draw this separate right here. We got a 20, a 20, and a 32. So one of the ideas that I've been stressing is that when you have two sides equal, and you drop an altitude down between those, drop a perpendicular from the apex angle down to the base and make it perpendicular. This forms two congruent triangles. So that means it splits the base in 16 and 16. Now you can do the Pythagorean property that c squared is a squared plus b squared. And when we use a right triangle, remember that the c is always opposite the right angle. A and B are the other two legs. So in this case, the C, let's call this, we want the height, because that's going to be that distance right there, perpendicular. So let's call that the height. That's the height in this triangle. So we have C is across from the right angle, so that's 20 squared. A is the height, and B is 16. So we square each of them. That's 400. H squared. And 16 squared is 256. And so therefore H squared is 400 minus 256, because when you move it across to the left side, you change the sign. So H squared is 144 when you subtract. H is the square root of 144. So H is 12. So we did Pythagorean property, extremely important. But between the isosceles in an isosceles triangle, two sides equal, to drop the right angle, splits the base, forms the right triangle. So that means the height is 12. And so now we can work out the area of the triangle. So let's look at base area. So the area of T, the triangle, is a half the base times the height. The base is 32. The height we found out to be 12. And a half of 32 is 16. So 16 times 12 is 292. Or sorry, 192. And it's in millimeters, so it's millimeters squared. But there's two triangles equal in area, so it's 2 times 192. So that gives us 384 millimeters squared. Or you're just going to add it. 192, add on 192 is 384. Now let's work out the lateral area. And so let's see. We got this side is 20 by 50. This side is 20 by 50. So we do this one, and we double it, we get that one. We get the two of them together. And this one is 20, the bottom of the tent is 50 by 32. So the bottom is different dimensions than the two sides. So let's do the dimension of the bottom first. Just right bottom here so you know what I'm doing. The bottom area is length times width. So the bottom is 50 times 32. And so that's 1600. And again, it's millimeters squared. And one side of the tent, I'm going to write down side, is length times width. And so it's a 50 by 20. And 50 by 20 is 1,000. And again, millimeters squared. And the other side, so there's two sides, so there's two areas. So it's 2 times 1,000, which gives me 2,000. So the lateral area of the tent is 16 plus 2,000, 1,600 and 2,000 is 3,600. Right? Yep. And so the surface area is the base area plus the lateral area. So the base area is 384. And the bottom, that's total, 36. So that gives us 3984. And again, we got millimeters squared for area, millimeters squared for area, millimeters squared. So it works out what the two of them, base area 384, total area of the sides is 2016 is 36, and add them together is 3984 millimeters squared. So working out the area of a triangular prism should be okay. Learn the formulas, remember, learn the formulas, and remember the lateral area is base area, add on, sorry, the surface area is the base area, add on the lateral area. If you like my videos, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button, and the notification bell if you're a subscriber. Write a video if you're a subscriber. And visit my math website, mathfullyexplained.com, where you'll get information on me and the teaching strategies I'm going to use in my videos. And the content that I have online is in black font right now. And the content is going to be there in the future will be in red font. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.